all about. You know what I'm saying? We about to get into it, man. We about to have a show tonight, man. Listen, we're going to talk about, the Jets running back situation, Jets tight end situation, free agency. You know what I'm saying? We're going to cover it all, man. So please call in 515-602-9639. Again, call in 515-602-9639, man. Let me know what y'all thinking about this. Let me know how y'all feeling, man. You know what I'm saying? 1 second, folks. I'm going to share this, make sure everybody, you know what I'm saying, knows the show is going on. I hope everyone's having a good day as well. I hope everyone's having a good one. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of crazy things going on out there. Roscoe Kicks, what's going on, my man? Good to see you in here. Salute to you. Welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? Just about to share the show in a second, folks. You know what I mean? We doing it, man. We doing it. We talking tonight. We talking big. We talking big. You know what I'm saying? Again, 515-602-9639. Call in. You know what I'm saying? We talking Jets, man. We talking Jets tonight. 1 second. Let me go ahead and share this, folks. And, you know what I'm saying? Let everybody get on in here. You know what I mean? I hope everyone's having a good one. Hope everyone's having a good time tonight. You know what I'm saying? Prestige, salute to you. Good to see you in here as well, man. Good to see you in here. I'm going to hold on 1 second, folks. I'm going to mute this, and then we're going to connect the show. Hold on a second.
One. Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe. We back at it. You know what I'm saying? It's time to talk Jets yet again. Got a lot of topics to talk about tonight. We're going to cover the Jets running back situation, tight end. There's a lot of people talking about Zach Wilson right now as well, man. A lot of people comparing him to Darnold. A lot of takes that I'm hearing are kind of, getting turned around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talking about Darnold, being the better prospect. So we'll talk about that tonight as well. We also going to talk about the Jets meeting with Najee Harris. You know what I'm saying? That's going to tie into our running back situation. So, man, I can't wait to get into it. Listen, I am the man of the people. I am here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. So without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and get into the show. I am fired up, people. I'm fired up. I'm also on iTunes as well. You know what I'm saying? The Long Beach Joe Show. Go there. Please subscribe to my iTunes. Leave me a rating. You know what I'm saying? I'm everywhere else. I'm also on YouTube as well. That's where I live stream. If you listen to me live on Blog Talk Radio, I'm also on YouTube too. You know what I'm saying? So Long Beach Joe Jets is the YouTube channel. You can go there and watch me live stream while I do the live radio show. You can also check out my other content as well. I put up videos, do all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm fired up. Got a new audio system as well, folks. I hope y'all enjoying this. Let me know. Give me some feedback on the audio tonight. Let me know what's going on with it, if you like it, how you feeling it. So, listen, we're going to get into it because there's a lot to talk about with this football team right now. Again, if you want to call in, it is 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. We got a couple callers. We're going to get to everybody tonight. I know everybody continues to talk about, hey, Joe, how can I get on the show? How can I call in? If you call in, listen, I'm going to explain this one more time. There's some people out there that, don't get it. If you call in, I can see you. I know different people use different things. I have a queue system. I can see you, okay? So if you call in, I will see you and I will get to you. Do not call in and hang up, call in and hang up, call in and hang up. If you do that, guess what that will do to you? That will put you at the back of the line consistently. All right? You're just doing it to yourself at this point, you know? Don't do that. Just call in, wait your time, and you'll get on the show. And then we'll start talking Jets, you know what I mean? Just be patient. And don't curse when you call into my show, because I'll get you out of here if you curse. Can't, you know what I'm saying? We can't have that. Family-friendly show here. So let's go ahead and get into these topics, man. I'm hyped up. I'm fired up. I'm looking at this running back situation with the Jets right now. You know, we've got P. Ryan. We know that. We saw some great things out of him. You know, he had injuries. He was also kind of underutilized. We know that Adam Gase loved to run Frank Gore constantly. Didn't really understand why at times, but he did do that. So P. Ryan was a guy that we all saw had some talent. We also saw Ty Johnson as well, who I'm extremely excited about. We saw him showcased at times through the season. He was a guy that we saw, and we said to ourselves, this guy's got some talent. We saw him come out the backfield. We saw him catch the football. We saw him be able to move around and make plays. Josh Adams as well, who's a restricted free agent too, was a guy that we saw, you know, be used sparingly here and there as well. But now coming into this season, we have a brand new, you know, coaching staff. We have a brand new offensive coordinator in the building in Mike LaFleur. And you look at this Jets running back situation right now and you say to yourself, okay, we know that things are going to change, but how much are they going to change? Can some of these guys be utilized within the LaFleur system, which is, you know, the Shanahan system? And can these guys be effective? I know that there's a lot of people out there that look at this Jets running back situation, and a lot of them immediately want to go out and just land an elite number one running back. And I get it. They want to chase the top guy in free agency, and I get it. But what I will say about this, and I'm kind of, you know, talking to different people hit me in my, you know, DMs and all kinds of things. And I'm kind of slow on the brakes on that. Because when I look at this Shanahan system, I look at, you know, they're coming from San Francisco, you know, with SALEH and, you know, Shanahan or Mike LaFleur was under, you know, Kyle Shanahan. And I look at Kyle Shanahan, and this guy is like a wizard within the running game. This guy can put together running game schemes like crazy, you know. And I look at the Niners. Again, I'm on the West Coast. For those of you that don't know, that's why they call me Long Beach Joe. You know what I'm saying? Big Jets fan on the West Coast. I was forced to watch the Niners many times. And you look at this Niners system. You look at how they ran the ball in San Francisco. They didn't have like an Alvin Kamara or, you know, a Dalvin Cook or, you know, this elite back. They had a tandem of backs that were able to get the job done. You know, Raheem Mostert, Jarrett McKinnon, Jeff Wilson Jr., who was their leading rusher. That dude was an undrafted free agent. Undrafted, you know. And SF ended up number one in the league in rushing. They ran the ball extremely well. But it was a trio of backs, things that they were able, you know, they were able to utilize different guys' talents in different ways within that system to really see success. So when I look at this Jets running back situation here, I say to myself, P. Ryan, who has shown some promise. You got Ty Johnson, who I'm extremely hyped about. I really think that guy could really turn into something here. He's a smooth runner. We saw him find the holes. He'd make his plays. He was taking off down the field. We also saw him catch the football coming out the backfield as well. You know, I think that we could end up, maybe we get a veteran back in free agency or something like that. But I wouldn't necessarily be upset about us going into next season, you know, with P. Ryan, Ty Johnson, and finding a way, you know, to get Josh Adams back in here. I wouldn't be upset if we went that way. I really wouldn't. I don't necessarily think we have to chase that big time elite back. I also would love, you know, outside of us, you know, possibly getting a veteran free agency. Honestly, I'd like for us to get a young back in the draft, maybe a little bit later in the draft, second, third round, something like that. I wouldn't mind that either. I know there's a lot of names out there, people talking about Najee Harris. I don't know exactly where he's going to go. Some people say he goes in the first. I don't know if we take a running back in the first. We're going to talk about that tonight as well. But I think that there's options out there for us, but I don't think we have to run and chase, you know, a high-priced free agent running back. I don't necessarily think we have to do that. But we're going to talk about that tonight, man. Because let me tell you something. This running game and what Mike LaFleur is going to bring here, and I do think that we'll run something very similar to what we saw, you know, in SF, how those guys were extremely effective there. Let me tell you something. They're going to be on pace. They're going to absolutely make the running game, a functioning part of this offense. And we saw it struggle time and time again under Gaze, but those times are over. Moving on, I want to talk about this tight end position as well. You look at Mike LaFleur yet again, bringing in that Shanahan system. Let me tell you, they use the tight end quite a bit in San Francisco. They use it quite a bit. But in San Francisco, they had Kittle. Okay? We ain't got no damn George Kittle here. We ain't got no George Kittle. I'm being completely honest with you. I'm being completely honest with you. We ain't got no George Kittle. And I look at this Jets tight end situation right now, and people consistently ask me, well, Joe, look, Griffin, we could move on from him. We could cut him. We could save money. And I say, okay. And then they turn around and tell me, what about Chris Herndon? Chris Herndon could be a guy that can make plays for us. Do you have faith, Joe, in Chris Herndon?
Hell no.
Nope.
To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
No.
Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
No, I don't. I don't have any faith in Chris Herndon. I'm being completely honest. I have no faith in Chris Herndon. I'm being completely honest with y'all. This is a guy that has not shown anything. I'm talking about nothing. There's a little bit of flashes, maybe in his first season. If he wasn't suspended, then he was hurt. If he wasn't hurt, then he was dropping footballs. If he wasn't hurt, suspended, or dropping footballs, he was fumbling. I mean, what do you want? What do you want from me? I'm just being completely honest. You know what I'm saying?
What more do you want from me?
That's all I can do, man. That's all I can do at this point. So moving forward, I'd like to see us go after a tight end in free agency. Maybe not a high-priced tight end. One of the guys I want to see us target is Gerald Everett. I really like him. Mo Alley Cox as well is a free agent too, but I don't know if the Colts will necessarily, let him go. I think he might end up back with the Colts, but if we can go after that guy, I'd like him as well. But I think we got to improve at that position too, because I just don't have faith in Chris Herndon. I just don't, to be completely honest. So we're going to talk about all that tonight. Running backs, tight ends. We're going to talk about Zach Wilson. Everybody loves that guy, man. I respect him. I like him too. I think he's good. But we're going to talk about all that tonight. Running backs, tight ends, this new offense, Najee Harris. We're going to open up the lines again, 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. Call in. The lines are open right now. Do not call into my show cursing. For those of you that listen to me on Blog Talk Radio, I also live stream during my live radio shows. All right? And I call my chat the savages. Why? Because they're savage. No one's safe. Not even me. You got to take that they don't agree with. They just fry you, man. They just call in and fry you. Like, it just is what it is, man. Nobody's safe, They do it respectfully, but they get after you. So we're going to get into the lines, man. Got quite a bit of callers right now. Again, 515-602-9639. We about to get into it, man, because we got to talk about a lot of stuff that we got going on here. This roster is going to change. There's a lot of things that can happen. So I'm going to go to my guy E first, man. E, I'm coming directly to you, my man. E, what's going on, my friend? Welcome to the show. Thank you for calling in. I want to get your thoughts on this, man. You look at this running back situation, bro, off the rip. What is your assessment of the Jets running back situation right now?
I think it's kind of underrated, not going to lie. I mean, I like Ty Johnson. Ryan, I'm not huge on. I think he can be decent, though. He's a good, third running back, best number 2 back. I don't think he's ever going to be a number 1. And, I want to sign a veteran free agent like a Jamal Williams or maybe draft a guy. But, I'm all for go running back by committee. Don't splurge on a running back. We just failed that experiment with Le'Veon Bell. Mm-hmm. So I think I don't think it's as big of a need as most people think. I'm comfortable going in with Johnson, Pierre, and then signing those veterans.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm looking at the situation, and I'm saying to myself, again, I think this offense is going to be something similar to what we saw in SF. And I think a trio of backs, especially, I know you aren't necessarily high on P. Ryan, but I think he can be a pretty solid back. But Ty Johnson is a guy that I'm extremely excited about. And I really think that, we should move forward with him because he's really shown some, that he's really shown that he could have impact in a football game. We saw him really turn up in a couple of games.
Yeah, he's got some wheels, man.
Yeah.
I remember in the Miami game, he was just going in. I'm like, oh my God, finally I saw a running back, because we were used to like Le'Veon Bell was slow, Frank Gore's even more slow. P. Ryan's not the fastest guy, he's got decent speed, but this guy was, making guys miss going fast here, hitting the whole hard. I'm like, oh sweet, we got, fast guy here. And I was like, is that P. Ryan? But no, it was this guy we just picked up from the Lions. So yeah. I'm really interested to see what he's got. He's got some wheels, man, for sure.
Yeah. Do you think that play action, when you look at, Mike LaFleur, I know a lot of people are kind of throwing things out there about him and just the offense that he brings here. Do you think that play action will be a big part of our offense this upcoming season?
Man, I sure hope so, because that means the running game's working. I mean, you can only do good, play action if you got a good running game. So, I want to balance the offense. I don't want, too much run, too much pass. But, yeah, play action can really help, especially with a young quarterback, that it can help them a lot, buying some time. As long as they still play action well, which your boy Darnold doesn't do too well.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Then it'll work very well.
Here we go. You know what I'm saying? It's every time, E. Every time, E.
I had to.
Here we go.
You know what I'm saying? Every time you call in, you got to take shots at Sammy D. Listen, man, it's hard to sell a play action in this league when no one's afraid of your running game. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to sell a play action.
Point, man.
You know what I'm saying? When your O-line can't block, it's kind of hard to sell it. You know what I'm saying? Who believes? Who's going to believe that? But, you take your shots.
Here come the excuses.
No
Typical
excuse.
Sam Darnold defender.
Oh, my goodness, man. You know what I'm saying? What is the deal here? Why do we all have issues?
What more do you want from me?
I'm just here bringing you straight facts, my man. You don't want to hear facts. I understand that. You know what I mean? But I want to get back to.
We can get back to running back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to.
I just slide that in there for any of my move on from Sam guys in the chat. So, but yeah, let's get back to.
Yeah, let's get back to these. Let's get back to these
topics.
Yeah, let's get back to these running backs. You look at this situation and you talked about looking into free agency and signing a couple of guys. So I want to throw a name at you, man. There's some fans out there that look at Chris Carson and they say, hey, this is a guy that they're interested in.
Oh.
Would you like to see us bring in Chris
No.
Carson? Okay. Why?
No.
Why not? He's a capable back.
He's gonna want number one running back money. It's like him and Aaron Jones are at the top. I don't want any of these guys who are gonna ask for $11 million a year. I mean, I'd be comfortable signing a guy. I don't want to sign a running back any more than maybe $4 million a year. And if not, you can just draft a guy. Also, some of the 49er backs are also on the market. Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, that dude got some wheels. Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
So some familiarity in the system. Maybe bring one of those guys in. But the guy I want is Jamal Williams from the Packers or Marlon Mack from the Colts. I know he's coming off of an injury, but he's been a number one back in the past, and he's going to cost nothing. So,
yeah,
I'd be interested in one of those guys.
Yeah, Marlon Mack definitely, I think the Colts will keep him. But some of the names, the guys that you mentioned are, some of the guys I could also see us bring in and possibly, give a decent deal to that'll work for us, work for them, and them still be able to be here and produce. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about this tight end position, man, because there's some concerns here for me. Do you have faith in Chris Herndon coming forward in this next season within this new offense? Do you think that this LaFleur offense, he's running that Shanahan system, that it's going to benefit and fix whatever's been going on with Chris Herndon with the drops and the fumbles and all the bad route running and all that nonsense?
So I have a little more faith than you do. I'm not, the biggest Herndon guy, especially after last year. I think the Shanahan system utilizes a lot of two tight ends, so I think he can make a pretty good second tight end. So, but I want to get a number one tight end. There's two guys I'm looking at. One of them is really aggressive, but it would be like a dream come true. If we could find a way to draft Kyle Pitts, which that's not happening, but if we could find a way, that dude is ridiculous. I mean, he can be a tight end, he can be a slot receiver, he can be an outside receiver. That would be the perfect weapon. I also really like Jonnu Smith from the Titans.
Yep.
He's shown a ton of flashes, and you could sign him. I don't know if they retain him or not, but yeah, Jonnu Smith could be interesting. Mo Alley Cox from the Colts, he's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, either sign a free agent or there's the kid Pat Fryermuth from Penn State. Maybe you can take him in like the second round if he's there. So I don't trust Chris Herndon as a number 1 tight end, but I think he could make a decent 2. Ryan Griffin, I think his career is pretty much over. He talked about how, like, he has permanent injury or what his injury he's never going to be the same after that. He just didn't look healthy out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, having a tight end room of either, I guess, John Smith's more like with those Smith, Herndon, and Lesko, I'd be down for.
Okay. Look, I respect your takes. E. Listen, I got to get back to these callers, man. You called in, you brought the fire. I'm not going to lie about it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like your Darnold takes. I don't respect that. I don't like that, but, I'll give you a hand. In studio audience, please. Yeah, go ahead and clap for him.
Thank you, man.
I respect him. I didn't want, shots at Darnold, but I respect him.
Thank you.
I respect it.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Listen, E, so you go ahead. Thank you for calling in, my friend. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. You have a good night, my man.
Yeah, you too, man. Take care.
Listen, E called in. You know what I'm saying? He brought the fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. He did bring the fire. But taking shots at Darnold, that's a tough call. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough call. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Please call in. You know what I'm saying? We got a new audio system tonight. Let me know how you hearing the audio. Is everything's good? You know what I'm saying? Let me know what's going on with you folks. So now we're going to keep going. 914, I'm coming directly to you. 914, give me your thoughts about this Jets tight end position. How do you assess it this season?
Well, I'm going to say this. I think you're being a bit hypocritical with Chris Herndon.
Am I? Can you please tell me how?
What other Jets players also dealt with injuries and inconsistent play that you will defend to the death?
What other?
The quarterback.
Well, no. Chris Herndon has never shown you any type of flash near Sam Darnold. That's one. Two, Chris Herndon is dropping.
You want to know what?
Hold on a second. Unlike
Sam Darnold.
Chris Herndon also has never shown that type of flash. So I'm not sitting here, bashing Chris Herndon for anything. I'm telling you the absolute truth. This guy drops a lot of footballs. This guy has fumbled quite a bit this season. We've seen him in multiple systems, and he has not looked good. So why all of a sudden should I believe in Chris Herndon? Why? Why should I do that? Can somebody please tell me why?
Because 2018, he was rated the number 1 rookie tight end in all of football.
And what has he done since then?
Well,
zero.
You can't blame him on his second year. You can't blame him his second year. He got hurt and he got a fluke injury. You can't blame him on that. And Adam Gase destroys every playmaker he touches. I mean, he is the anti-coach. He sucks out talent like he's a vampire.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The thing is,
hold on a second. It wasn't just about talent. Listen, when the ball was given to Chris Herndon, and people said, "Make a play, Here's the ball, catch the football." What did we see? We saw drops and fumbles. That's what we saw. So it wasn't. I understand if it was the offensive scheme, if he wasn't getting the ball, or if the route, or it was something like that. No, the ball was given to this guy. Why? The Herndon hive is constantly attacking me. And every single time I ask, okay, well, if you believe in Chris Herndon so much, can somebody please tell me what exactly you saw in him these last couple of years to make you want to scream at me about it? He dropped footballs and he fumbles.
I see the talent. Like I said, he's poor coaching. Look. He had a rough start to the season. He came on around the end of the season.
Oh, my.
Well, here's the thing. I've never.
Oh, my God.
Outside of one.
Go ahead.
Like I said, it's not his fault with the injuries. And look, it's bad coaching. He's come and look, he had no preseason. There's
a lot of people. Nobody had preseason.
He's coming off a year from an injury where he hadn't played football for one bit. He's going to be rusty. It's going to take.
He's not the only one that's happened to. He's not the only one that's happened to. He's not the only one coming off a season. He had a full season after that, right, to get himself ready. That preseason stuff, not an excuse. Nobody had a preseason. Nobody did.
He's coming off.
Why do you allow that?
Coming off an injury.
Why do you allow that excuse for him?
2019.
Why do you allow that excuse for him, but you don't allow it for anyone else? You talking about me? Oh, I'm all about defending Darnold. When we talk about Darnold not having a preseason, you're the first person to talk about. Who cares? It doesn't matter. You should be prepared. I remember that. It was you.
You want to know a fun fact
so what's
about
the difference?
You want to know what Darnold's completion percentage? By the way, speaking of Darnold, you want to know what his completion percentage this year was from a clean pocket?
Go ahead and give it to us.
Do you know what it was?
Go ahead and give it to us.
56%.
Can you please tell us how many times he had a clean pocket? He was the most rushed quarterback in the league. He led.
Yeah, but when he had a clean pocket, he still wasn't good.
He never had a clean pocket, sir.
When he had
what offense do you watch?
From a clean pocket is 56%.
What offense do you watch?
If his pocket is clean, if his pocket is clean, then why isn't his completion percentage better?
He doesn't.
If he has a clean pocket, then why isn't his completion percentage significantly better?
Because
if it should be 65, 67%, but it's not.
Because he's running for his life most of the damn game. Because he's shell-shocked and taking hits constantly. You do know that happens to quarterbacks, right? You do know that happens to quarterbacks, right? You do know that when they take shots and they're constantly running for your life, they get skittish in the pocket. You're sitting here acting like Darnold had a clean pocket his entire career. That is not true. This is one of the worst offensive lines in the league, especially when Mekhi Becton wasn't playing. You got to be kidding me. This guy literally led the league in being rushed. He led the league in that. I'm not making that stat up. He was rushed faster than damn near every single quarterback in the league. Every single one.
To get to.
Did you see how Patrick Mahomes looked when he couldn't sit back and set his feet? Did you see that? Did you see how Patrick Mahomes looked when he was getting rushed? Patrick Mahomes looked good in the Super Bowl? What game were you watching, sir? What game? What game? I'm asking. I'm just asking what game you watching.
He looked. Those throws were impressive. Like,
oh my
it's
God.
not his fault, but he still looked impressive in that game.
Okay.
I mean, listen to the Bucks mic'd up. All they could talk about was how amazing he was. Listen to the Bucks mic'd up.
Okay. Yeah. If you think that Patrick Mahomes looked good in that game.
Now let me get back to the Darnold point.
It is what it is.
You want to know how you fix?
Okay. Go ahead. I'll let you finish the Darnold point. Go ahead.
You know how you fix that shell shock?
Go ahead. Let us know.
You sit and decompress, and that's something he can't do in New York. I'm sorry.
No. The
media won't allow him to sit.
First off, the media should not run your football team. That's point one. Point two is, you know how you fix shell shock? You get him good coaching and you protect him so that he's not getting hit like that.
That doesn't work.
Hold on. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You have to decompress because
you don't. Let me tell you why.
If you're
let me tell you why. Because if you do not allow this guy weapons and protection and proper coaching, you won't shake that out of him. It's not like he doesn't have the talent and can't move forward. It's not like he doesn't have the talent to do what's necessary in this football league. We have not protected him properly. We have not given him weapons. And the coaching has been god-awful. We literally played a New England team that ran a zero blitz constantly. We couldn't figure out how to stop it from a coaching standpoint. You got to be kidding me.
Let me tell you.
You got to be kidding.
Okay.
Me. Listen.
Let me tell you this.
We got. I'll let you get the last word. Go ahead, and I'll move on. Go ahead.
Let me tell you this. If you got a military unit that's been on the front forever, for a month, they're shell shocked, and their commander is dead. What do? Do you put a new commander there and send them back to the front?
Can I ask you a question?
No, you give them a month off and you send a new unit up.
No.
It's the same principle
Ryan
here.
Tannehill.
You're not going to send the same guy back into the fire.
Ryan Tannehill was getting hit a lot. He was getting hit a lot. We saw injuries from him as well.
What happened? 4,000-yard season
what
before
happened?
Adam Gase.
What happened? What happened?
Ryan Tannehill threw for 4,000 yards before Adam Gase even touched him.
What happened?
Ryan Tannehill threw for 4,000.
But what happened after Gase got his hands on him? We saw nothing, right? So once Gase gets his hand on him, we saw nothing. Then guess what? He moved on, and he found the proper place with coaching. He found a proper place with protection, and he found a proper place with weapons. And now look at Ryan Tannehill now.
Yeah, but he showed far more potential than Sandoval. When has Sandoval ever thrown for 20 touchdowns? When has he ever thrown for over 4,000 yards? He hasn't shown that in 3 years.
Yeah, and when has he had the weapons? And when has he had the protection? And when has he had the coaching? You gave him Adam Gase and Brashad Perriman and one of the worst offensive lines in all of football. And you expected him to produce under that?
Andrew Luck dealt with the same.
And Andrew Luck is no longer playing. Andrew Luck is no longer playing because he dealt with the injuries, right? Exactly.
He made the playoffs.
That's a terrible take.
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
Absolutely not.
Hell to the no. Hell to the no.
Nope.
To the no.
No, that is a terrible take. How can you even say that?
Andrew Luck made the playoffs with terrible supporting cast.
And Andrew Luck is no longer in the league because he took too many shots because he was not properly protected. He's not playing anymore.
Yeah, but he still put.
What did he win?
Showed his,
What did
yeah,
he
but
win?
He put up his numbers.
Sir, what did
he
he
put up
win?
production. He still production.
What did he win?
Great production with
What did
supporting
he
cast.
win? And he had better weapons than Darnold ever had. He's not protected. But what did he win, sir? You keep acting. What did he win? Do you remember the end of his career? What did he do? He sat on a podium and said, I've taken too many shots. It hurts too much. It's too much. I will no longer play. I am done here. All of the comparisons you keep bringing up is the same thing. It's the same thing. But I respect your take. I do. And I'm gonna give you a last
I'll
question.
lead you off with this trivia.
Go ahead, give me your trivia, because I love talking to you. But go ahead and give me your trivia. I'll let you go.
What ex-NFL quarterback in a 3-year span bested both Drew Brees and Peyton Manning in the playoffs? Hint, he wore number 10.
Oh, that's my guy, Chad. That's my guy, Chad. The pit man. You already know. Listen, anybody that know me, I'm all Chad. Mr. Pennington, are you serious? Yes, I know that. Thank you so much for your trivia, man. Listen, next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, my friend. I love going back and forth with you, all right? Listen, have a good night. Listen, we starting with the fire early. I respect everybody. But I'm going to challenge your points. I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to bring that fire. I'm going to bring it. I ain't going to lie to you. We're going to keep getting to these callers. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. We talking. 904, I'm coming directly to you. 904. We're going to talk. This is my guy, Chris. Chris, I want to thank you for calling in tonight.
What's going on, guys? Let me get everybody to. What's going on, guys? Let me get everyone to stand up and say J-E-T-S, yes, baby.
You already know, man. Listen, Chris, you bringing in the fire right now. All right, I already know how you calling in. You full of energy.
Yeah.
Listen, we got to talk. We got to talk about this running back situation here. You look at this situation, P. Ryan, Ty Johnson. How do you feel about this Jets running back situation? What is your assessment of it? And do you want to see us sign maybe a veteran back in free agency?
As far as the whole running back situation, I think P. Ryan is definitely a smart choice as keeping as a secondary running back. You know, he's definitely got that shoulder, and he's definitely trying to prove himself as a solidified draft pick for Joe Douglas. I'm not really keen on the whole draft, mock draft. Keep putting our second Seahawks pick as a running back. I would rather either pick a weapon or another protection for our quarterback. And I'm so glad I'm the next caller because honestly, man, I appreciate the question, but I really want to go at this guy that just went on after me. Because, like, here's the thing. And I have respect, and I've heard this guy many times on just not only your show, but the previous show. And This is what I've got to say, my guy.
Go ahead.
Listen, you want to go ahead and try and defend a tight end where the tight end has been given shots, and those shots were thrown to him by both Sam Darnold and Joe Flacco, and the dude did nothing. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have faith in our tight end, but he definitely has a lot more at stake than Sam Darnold. Because here's the thing. Sam Darnold has clearly been giving nothing but a lot of support from other teams and other spectators saying that he was never given a proper chance. You know, the chances to a receiver and tight ends and all those other guys are when they're on the field and they're given that shot. The moment the quarterback or any player is given them that ball, they have to make a play once they're put out there. The quarterback is very different. Once the quarterback has started the snap, he needs to try his best to make sure that his weapons are getting open and that his line is covering him. Okay? Sam Darnold had none of that. There was no protection. There was no cover. And people are clearly seeing that this boy was not given the right opportunity and his value is set. And now that the fact that the cap for this boy's fifth-year option is lowered has just doubled his worth and value. Sam Darnold is clearly an untapped prospect. And that is why the Jets are doing something right, man. They're holding on to him. They're saying, wait a minute. People asking for this kid? People talking about this kid? Maybe we already have something, but we need to take a look. I am so proud that the team is not just going out there making things, making offers, making things. They're taking their time. They're taking this thing right. Applause to Joe Douglas for telling everybody, we are not making a commitment, but we're not making any promises either. We're not making commitments. We're not admitting that we're going to go switch for another. No, because we don't even know who these rookie quarterbacks are. For all you know, you've got yourself a diamond in the rough. You just dirtied it up a little bit. You got yourself a coal. And what happens when you put coals in the mine? You got to let them sit for a little bit until it turns into diamond. And that's what Drew Brees was.
You bringing the fire, Chris. Go ahead. Keep going, man. That's fire. So much fire.
I'm telling you, when you have someone when you've got a kid who's clearly showing potential, and not only that, he's got a time on his belt. He's still got plenty of time. You got people like Zach Wilson. I'm not saying I'm not gonna support what Joe Douglas picks if he picks a different quarterback. If Zach Wilson's my quarterback, all happiness, bro, all love. But I'm gonna support Sam Darnold because I know for a fact, and so many more people, and especially other teams, are gonna want them. How ridiculous would it be if you had the California Panthers? They got our wide receiver. They had the coach that walked into our building and walked right out because the GM at the time and the owner didn't listen, and they want to put their nose into things that they don't need to do. And they take Sam Darnold, and that boy goes off to playoffs. What do you have to say there? Oh, now you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Oh, wow, the Jets, same old Jets." When we trying to tell you that the Jets are doing the right thing by sitting back and they're looking, they're making their notes, they're doing their research. Got to have the faith in Joe Douglas, man. Got to have the faith. As far as the draft right now, for my aspect, I'm still going with the whole stick Sam Darnold. I have massive faith in this boy. He is a coal that we are still waiting to blossom into a diamond, man.
Yeah.
He is a diamond in the rough, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know, look, Chris.
I said get weapons. I said get them coverage. Move back in the draft. I feel like Joe Douglas knows what he's doing, man. I still give his draft pick last year. And I think with this landing situation and what he's realized what he did with free agency, because we all know he did jump the ball a little bit on some of the players. Yeah. Robbie Anderson is the greatest example there, but he admitted it. That is one thing we don't see in a lot of employers. They don't admit their mistakes. They don't admit what they've done is wrong and that they're not going to learn from it. But this guy did. He said, I didn't see the value in Anderson at the time. I thought his value was different. I thought we could have come out with something better, but we didn't. And now he's gonna, and he even admitted this was on me, nobody else but my own, and I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah. Look, you know, and Chris, you're bringing a fire right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, like you said, there was some questionable stuff. I questioned, you know, the selection of one receiver in the draft, but I did like his draft, and I like some of the things that he did in free agency. You hit the nail right on the head, man. Look, I respect everybody that wants to move on from Darnold. I understand it's out there, but again, there's an option.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it too, man. But you can't just be throwing this kid out anyway. I understand what people are doing with the whole, you know, oh, he's not. But my goodness, man, you've got so many people asking for this kid still to this day, and his value just went up even higher. What is the problem with just filling up the draft with weapons, potential winning players, and then if you still don't have Sam, don't cover that year? Let me tell you something. Here's the thing. If you go ahead and get a quarterback this year, you got 4 years of a quarterback that may or may not be a potential, where people are still trying to tell you that you have some knowledge on Sam Darnold, and he's still got unhidden talent, practically himself a rookie, and you could have used all those draft picks to load up that draft and to say, hey, if Sam Darnold still doesn't work out, guess what? You're still going to end up in the same draft as you did last year, as you did this year, I mean. And guess what you can do? Draft a quarterback then. You can still draft a quarterback next year because we're still in rebuilding. We're not a Super Bowl team right now, so why not take the chance of putting more bonus players on this team? Think smart. Think of it like a chess piece. You don't go straight for the kill. You go ahead and you plan it. You set piece by piece. Set your rook, set your knight, set your pawn, and then you go for the cat, and then you go for the attack. Then you say, here's our king, here's our quarterback. Let's take it on. New York, Jet. Every day, all day. Let's go, gang green.
Listen, Chris, you called in with the fire. Look, I got to get back to these lines, man. You done already scorched the line. There's smoke all over the place around here where I'm at, man. Listen, you got the play going crazy. Listen, I want you to have a good night, all right, my friend. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
Absolutely, man. You have a good night, too. Let's go, Jets.
Let's go. Listen, Chris called in with the fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines, man. Whew. He blazed it up. Look, I'm not the Sam Darnold defender. I'm not. I want to hear your takes. I want to hear about Zach Wilson. I like the kid. I think he's got something to him. He's got moxie. I like his arm. He's mobile. And a lot of the same things you hear about him are a lot of the same things you hear about Sam Darnold. A lot of them. I'm a big Justin Fields guy myself. If you forcing me to draft a quarterback, I'm taking Justin Fields. I like that kid a lot. I think he's got the arm. His decision-making is solid. And you want to talk about tough? Boy, oh boy. He's a tough one. So we're going to keep getting to these lines, man. I'm going to my guy Steve next. Steve, it's been a fiery show, Steve. We done started up early. It's good to hear from you, my man. Thank you for calling in tonight. Steve, give me your thoughts about this tight end situation. How do you feel about Chris Herndon going into the season with this new offensive coordinator here in Mike LaFleur?
Hey, Joe. Well, first off, I'm glad to hear from you, man. It's just, yeah, I mean, I was a little late to the show, so I didn't get a chance to listen to it because I had to eat dinner a little bit late. But you know, the thing is, I don't know what the guy who I heard first before I heard the last guy. Honestly, I didn't know what he was talking about because here was the thing. It doesn't. Yes, okay. Chris Herndon had a very bad season this year. He had a very bad season, and the thing is, I know he's going into his fourth year this year. I don't know if I would trust him going forward in the future, or if we get another tight end, or even like what they do with Griffin. I mean, I've been hearing that it's a possibility that Ryan Griffin's going to be cut, but you know, the thing is with Herndon is it's just I don't know what the situation is going forward. But the thing is though, because I mean, you know, the previous guy. Before I got on even said, you know, whoever's going to be our quarterback, if we're going to stick with Sam, or if we're going to have Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, or if we're lucky, if let's say we stay at the number 2 pick and decide to trade Sam, and maybe if Trevor Lawrence falls to our laps, I mean, that's not going to happen. But it's just listen, you got to get the offensive line fixed. That's like one of the main priorities, and it's just we still have holes to fill in that offensive line situation. I think that's the main priority of what's going to happen in free agency.
Yeah, you know, I definitely think we'll attack the offensive line. I definitely think, you know, Joe Thuney is probably going to be one of our top targets. There's other guys out there as well. Moton from the Carolina Panthers, I like him a lot. I really do think we need to do what we can to address our right tackle situation. I know some people are comfortable with Fant, but I'd like to move on and get younger and better if possible. I'd also like to see us, you know, possibly attack another guard position too, because in my mind, I think Lewis and Van Roten are as good as gone. Now, I don't know if Cameron Clark steps up into that situation and he starts at some point. You know, I hope to see him at some point, you know, within next year or, you know, maybe the year after that. We'll see. Who knows? But yeah, but you know, I want to see us attack there. But like you were saying though, Steve, better in this offense is extremely important. Doing whatever we can, you know, to surround whatever quarterback it is that we have in the building with talent, I think is going to be important. So, you know, whether we stick with Sam Darnold or we draft a guy or, you know, we make a trade, maybe we end up with Deshaun Watson, who knows? You know, we need to make sure that they're properly protected and given weapons. And that's why, hold on a second, Steve, before you get on your point. That's why I think making sure that we shore up this tight end position, I think is huge. And for me, a guy that I'd like to see targeted in free agency, if that's the way we're going to go for a tight end, I like Gerald Everett a lot, man. I like him a lot. And I think that if we brought him in, he could really make an impact here. I also like Mo Alley Cox as well. That's a guy that I like too. I don't know if the Colts let him slip away, but if they do, I like him as well. What say you, Steve?
Well, there's a couple of other people who I think that the Jets should go after the tight end position if they choose to go after tight ends in free agency. There's Hunter Henry from the Chargers. Don't forget about John Smith from the Titans.
Yes. He's another guy that I think is pretty good as well. But Hunter Henry, man, I think he's going to cost, dude. I really, really do. And that leads me to my question for you, Steve. I mean, you talked about you talked a little bit about Hunter Henry. I mean, how much are you willing to spend on him? Like, what is your cap for him? Because he's going to probably be leading this tight end market, and he's going to, definitely get those coins. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, it's just, I was thinking of Hunter Henry, but you just made a good point. I think from what I've been hearing, because, I mean, obviously there is the rumor from the Los Angeles Chargers that the Chargers are going to try to put a franchise tag on him. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I mean, I don't know how much tight ends usually make a year, but the thing is, I have heard that if Hunter Henry is going to go to another team, I am hearing that Hunter Henry's going to ask for money.
Oh, yeah. Well, you better believe it. You better believe he's going to ask for money, especially, being a free agent, being at the top of the market. Yeah, he's absolutely going to need some cash. So before I let you go, Steve, my final question for you is going to be, you look at this situation, the offense that we have with LaFleur, he's bringing in a lot of the stuff that we saw in that Shanahan system from SF. When you look at that, do you think that we need to get that elite stud kind of number one running back to really be successful rushing the football in the Shanahan system?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the one running back I did hear about that the Jets are very, very high on getting in free agency, I've been hearing a lot about Aaron Jones from the Packers. Mm-hmm. Joe, what do you think of Aaron Jones? Would you like to bring him in here?
Yeah, well, here's the deal. I think Aaron Jones is a great player. I think he's a very solid player, but how much is he going to cost you? I mean, he can definitely run the football adequately. You can catch the football out the backfield as well. That's a lot of stuff that you did in Green Bay. But for me,
rumor is, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joe, rumor is that if he wants to go to another team, he said, I was hearing something that he wants $15 million a year.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. The price for me is just is the breaking point there, and I look at it like I don't spend $15 million. I don't like to spend too much money at all on running backs because they're one of the most devalued positions, especially when you get running backs. You don't know how long they're going to last once they get to you. We've seen guys pay big time money for running backs. They come in and just don't look the same as they did, a year or 2 years prior because that position you just get ran out. I think for me, I like to get young, fresh backs. I can see us maybe going after a cheaper veteran back to come in and help us, but not, spending too much, especially when you look at the other needed positions on this football team and the cap that we could use for those. I'd like to see us go after a running back in the draft, maybe in the second round and later. So that's my take on that. But listen, Steve, I got to get back to these lines, man. I got to get back to these lines.
Hey, Joe,
go ahead.
Last thing.
I'll give you one last thing. Go ahead.
Hey, Joe, one last thing before I go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. It's just one last thing I wanted to say really quickly before I go. It's just, there was one thing that I did I liked about, and I read about it yesterday because this went on Twitter. And the thing was because Ian Rappaport reported about because the thing is the Jets don't want to make a decision on Sam just yet, and they want to take their time towards the end of next month. And the reason is because, yes, Joe Douglas and Mike LaFleur and Robert Saleh, I think, went to Trevor Lawrence's pro day. I think it was a week ago or something. But they also want to go to Justin Fields' pro day and Zach Wilson's pro day. And after seeing those two people, then they're going to decide together, do we want to stick with Sam or do we trade Sam away and basically, start fresh with a new quarterback? And honestly, I think it is the right decision. And finally, it feels like finally that the Jets are finally doing something right with handling their situations of the team. And the only thing that just has to happen is that Woody and Christopher Johnson need to stay away and just be the owners of the team. Yeah,
look, there's a lot of things to look at. They're doing their due diligence, and I absolutely respect that. Listen, Steve, I got to get back to these lines, man. I want to thank you for calling in. You have a good night, all right, my friend?
Yeah, you too, man. Bye-bye.
Listen, Steve calling in, giving us his takes. Again, we talking about different things tonight, but we consistently going to talk about the quarterback position probably throughout the entire offseason. Look, I look at the situation. I say to myself, the Jets should be doing their due diligence. Absolutely. They should be looking at other quarterbacks. They should be, waiting for that pro day for Justin Fields and Zach Wilson and all these other guys. They should be scouring the free agency market. Honestly, them talking about the possibility of them taking a quarterback does nothing but drive up the price of the second pick in the first round. If I was the general manager, I would never say, publicly until the draft, until I was done with the draft, and I'm sticking with Sam Darnold, because I want to drive up that price left and right. But secretly, definitely sticking with Sam would be in my mind, And again, I'm not going to sit here and just defend Sam to the moon. I understand he has faults like every other player, but we got to, just be realistic about his faults and the things that we see, because there was a lot of things that went into it, and sticking with him, I think is a possibility. But going elsewhere, there's some guys out there too I think can be effective. Everyone knows, like I said, I'm a big Justin Fields guy. I like him a lot. But again, 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. Call in. I love talking to every single person. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you call in, don't call in and hang up. Call in and hang up. Don't do that, because you'll just put yourself at the back of the line. You're in a queue. I can see you. You know what I'm saying? I can see you. So please call in. And the only thing, do not call into my show cursing. I get you out of here. I get you out of here faster than we got Jamal Adams out of here. We got his ass out of here quickly. We got that guy out of here so fast with 2 firsts. So fast. What a clown. What a clown. We got that guy out of here. Listen, I'm going to keep getting to these lines. 2 first-round picks for a box safety. Woo. Joe Douglas is the man. Listen, we're going to keep going to these lines, man. I'm going to my guy. I think it's my guy, Angelo. 954, I'm coming to you. Angelo, is this you?
Angelo, what's up, man? Yeah, called in a couple times before now. I like your show.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for supporting the content. Listen, Angelo, we get into it, bro. You already know what time it is. Tonight we're talking about running backs and tight ends. I'm going to start off with the running back position with you. You look at this situation. That SF, that San Francisco offense, they ran the ball, man. Number 1 in the league. These guys were all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They were doing their thing. They had 3 different backs, putting in work. The lead back, the guy that ended up with the most yards at the end of the year for them was an undrafted guy. What are your thoughts about a lot of people saying, hey, we don't necessarily need a elite number 1 running back to really be successful rushing the ball with this system? Do you agree with that?
Okay, here's what I'm going to say about the running back. It is an important position, and it has gotten devalued over time. Mm-hmm. And But teams that draft running backs are like the Kansas City Chiefs, Green Bay Packers, teams that have, something built. Now, we are building something. So, people say that with that second first-round pick, we might take Najee Harris or Travis Etienne. Listen, it first starts with free agents. It depends on who we can talk to and who we can get into this building before we can start talking about the draft. Mm-hmm. Because if we can bring in a running back in free agency, we're not drafting one, right? I mean, that's pretty clear. But if we can't bring in one, then yes, Travis Etienne or Najee Harris, I would prefer them with our second-round pick if one of them were still there.
Yeah.
The second first-round pick, you know what I'm saying? I think there's like contract stipulations where they can get a 5th-year option or something like that. But but here's the thing: San Francisco ran the ball last year. Who did they have? Raheem Mostert? Where was he in draft board? I don't remember him did he even get drafted?
Yeah, they had Jeff Wilson Jr. was an undrafted guy. Like you said, they had Raheem Mostert. They had Jerick McKinnon. And they were often injured. There were some injuries between those guys. They missed games as well, and they still ran the ball well, man.
So here's the thing. You got to build that offensive line. So that's the one thing where even if you have positions there and you got, those guys are in the trenches every play. The injury probability goes up for those guys. And I did like what Pat Elflein did towards the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't mind bringing in a guard, drafting offense. We're probably going to draft maybe, I would say, 2 offensive linemen in this draft. I would probably think, depending on how we're going to do in free agency, obviously, but you got to bring in the trenches, man. I think our tackles, I don't think we can release him. We have him on contract. So right tackle, I think you got to have to live with Fant for next year. But you can always draft one. You can always draft a guard or a tackle. And obviously our best option available is if Sam Darnold can turn it around and become that player that we thought he was going to be. Mm-hmm. Because if that's the case, we don't need a quarterback right now. We can save it and spend it on other assets, or maybe trading down and getting more assets, and then maybe drafting a Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle, those kind of guys.
What are your thoughts?
Because we have so many.
Go ahead. Yeah. I just wanted to break, because you talked a little bit about Sam Darnold, so I wanted to break in and say, what are your thoughts about Zach Wilson? Because I know there's a lot of people that kind of make the comparison, and a lot of Jets fans now are leaning more towards the Zach Wilson side right now. There's a guy that they're looking to draft. How do you feel about taking him?
I like his tape, and you know what? As a Jet fan, you're going to be excited if that's the case. Yeah, like I said, I was excited when we drafted Matt Sanchez. I was excited when we drafted Sam Darnold. Watch him in the preseason game. You know what I'm saying? Like when you draft a new quarterback, it's exciting to watch your team, and then everybody's going to be watching your team. So that's one point. I do like his tape, but man, coming from a small school, and I've seen him in a couple interviews. He looks pretty solid. I mean, he looks like a good kid. Mm-hmm. But imagine him coming into your huddle with grown men and telling them what to do. Like, I don't know if it's going to take him a little bit. The NFL, a lot different than college. So I think you think about the quarterbacks in the draft, Sam Darnold might be better than all of them right now because he's experienced. He's got a couple years under his belt. He kind of knows the deep, you know what I'm saying? He's been there. Even though he's had some bad coaches, he's got a lot more experience. And I think in the NFL, experience matters. That's why going after those fourth-year, fifth-year players that are coming off their rookie contracts, that's why it's important to get those guys because they've been in the league for 4 or 5 years. They're young. They have the experience. Those guys make the difference. The draft is just kind of like it's like stock. You hold on to it for a little bit. You're not expecting every now and then a first-year player becomes a superstar their first year, but it's not. That's pretty hard to do. So if you're thinking if Zach Wilson is going to be our quarterback next year, we're probably going to go 6 and 10 maybe. I don't know. It would depend.
Yeah, we'd see. But yeah, look, I hear you, and you got a lot of great takes. I look at the situation, like you said, the offensive line I think is going to be a huge point to build this offseason, and I think they're going to attack it through multiple ways. Free agency, I definitely think is going to be one of them. But when you look at our running back situation, I think that we could still be extremely successful with the backs that we have here, because I think that this system, really produces. Especially again, when you look at what Shanahan was able to do, Kyle Shanahan was able to do in SF. That guy is a running game wizard. So Mike LaFleur, coming from that, being under that, working hand in hand with those guys, he should be able to come in here and put some scheme together, put some very solid running game plans together to really have us be successful at that sport, especially as well. Like you said, Raheem Mostert and all these guys, Jeff Wilson, these guys that people really don't think in. Guess what? SF was number 1 in the league in rushing. They ran the ball hard there. But I want to take you to our tight end position as well, man. 1 second. I want to take you to our tight end position really, as well. You look at this situation, I'm a guy that really does not have a lot of faith in Chris Herndon. I want to see us attack this tight end position, possibly in free agency. If not, then definitely in the draft. What say you, man? Are you a guy that's part of the Herndon hive that thinks that, this offense that's going to be brought in is definitely going to fix all the issues with him as well?
That's tough, man, because you want your players you draft to be successful, and you want to give them a chance. Mm-hmm. Herndon showed flashes of greatness, right? Just like Sam Darnold did. These guys can do it, but it's all about being consistent. That's why I liked a pick like Chase Claypool over Denzel Mims, because he was consistent. He is durable. I don't want guys that come in and are injured the whole year. As far as tight ends, I haven't researched a lot because I'm a guy that likes to research the steals, the guys that are underrated. Mm-hmm. But I like Pat Fairmouth in the draft. I like us drafting a tight end. There's a couple good guys in there, actually. And I wouldn't mind Fairmouth maybe with our second-round pick. That's probably where he's going to land. Mm-hmm. People have him going in the late first round. I do like him. I don't know if I like him at pick 23. But, he's a guy I would look for. And there's a couple other guys in the draft a little lower that you could probably maybe get in the third round. But again, as far as free agency, it goes about the interview. You got to sit down with these guys, and you got to convince them that, hey, you want to play for the Jets, and here's what we're going to give you, and it's all a game. So,
what are your thoughts about?
We need depth there. Ryan Griffin.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Jonnu Smith or Gerald Everett in free agency? Even guys like Mo Alley Cox. What are your thoughts about those guys? Do you think that we should, possibly pursue them?
Those are not big names, but that's what I like. I like guys like that are going to earn a contract. I don't want guys that are going out there and we've already proved it, pay us, and then, we're going to get all this money and take it easy. I want guys to earn it. So I think that's how Joe Douglas is going to do it. He's not like Mike McCagney, who's going to go out and throw money at everything. The biggest names out there. And it is exciting in free agency when he signed Trumaine Johnson. Remember that? It was the best cornerback in free. Dude, what a bust. What a big blow to our money. And that's what set us back. But you were excited. Don't lie. When we got Trumaine Johnson, you were excited, weren't you? Hell yeah, you were excited, man. All these big names with McCagney, bringing back Revis. I mean, it's like, all right, man, we're spending money. But, dude, Joe Douglas is not like that. Yeah. He's going to look for the tough guys, the underrated guys. That's what he did last year in our offensive line. He spent not a lot of money, but a lot of little money on a lot of guys. Yeah. But not a lot of them worked out. So that's the other thing, too. He tried to plug it, but now it's his second year. Now it's time to, if you want to get a Joe Thuney, I mean, that's going to cost you a lot of money. I don't know if, are you going to spend that much money on one position? What if all of a sudden he tears his ACL or he does something like C.J. Mosley, pulls the groin? It's like, damn, you can't commit so much money to one player, and if they get hurt, you are done. Yeah, but that's the NFL, man. I mean, that's the case.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm a guy that looks at the situation, and I say if you can get Joe Thuney, and I understand it's going to be a lot of cash. I really, really do. I get it. But if you can get him and you can bring him into this building, I'm taking that shot because, look, I understand, you're talking about the injury, but you can get guys that can be backups, but that guy can change the look of your offensive line. He can. I mean, he's one of the better guards. He's one of the better guards in the league. Like I'm telling you, you get Joe Thuney on this line, I think you're set. So I understand what you're saying though, but I'm taking that shot in free agency if I can.
Yeah, and also too with Joe Thuney, absolutely. But it's a family. That offensive line is a family. You get together and you can't communicate with Connor McGovern or Mekhi Becton. So. I know you want to bring in Thuney, but Becton's got to prove it and be like, yeah, you know what? He's a really good guy. Like, I could go out to dinner with him and his family, go to his house. Like, you got to build a family on that line, and that's how it's done. You can't just, plug players, let's pick this guy up here. Like, they have no relation. You want guys that can build a family, a personality. That's why it's like we don't see that. We don't see those in-person interviews, what goes on behind the scenes. We didn't see the Jets interviews for the head coach. I mean, in fact, SALEH just blew him away. Was like, hey, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take this team up. That's it. So It's all about sitting down with these players. If Joe Thuney still has that passion and he wants to play, he's like, yeah, I'm going to come in here and take your offensive line to the next level. Yeah. Hell yeah, I'll give you money. You got to sell yourself. So, I mean, Joe Thuney's got to come in and be like, hey, I'm worth it. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take Mekhi Becton. I'm going to make him the Pro Bowl next year. I'm going to take Connor McGovern, who a lot of people didn't think he did a lot. It's like, I'm going to take him off, and that's it. So he's got to sell us, and if he can do that, if he still has that passion, bring him in, you know? Yeah. Same thing with Richard Sherman. People are like, I want to bring him in because the mentor. Yeah, you want him to mentor, but you want him to play. Yeah. He's got to be able to play. I'm not trying to sign Sherman to be a coach, I'm trying him to be on the field. Yeah. So, and I think SALEH is going to sell these players. People are going to want to play from. That's why we will be successful in free agency. We're probably going to get a couple big names. We're probably going to get a lot of players that we need. And then what we don't get, Joe Douglas is like, okay, well, I can do this with the second pick. I can draft this guy, or I can trade down, draft this guy with the 23rd pick. This guy's going to be here. We don't need to sign a free agent cornerback because I like J.C. Horn, and I think so it's like that's the game they got to play. So if you want to spend money on a cornerback, well, shit, I can get
no cursing. Watch your cursing. Watch your cursing. Watch your cursing. Watch your language.
Yeah, sorry about that. But that's how I look at it, man. And free agency is going to be exciting this year for us. Exciting.
Yep. Listen, I'm right there with you. Listen, I got to get to rest these callers. You brought the fire, though.
I'm bringing the fire. I'm bringing the fire. I was a little tired. Dude, I was a little tired. I'm like, I'm going to be chill. Dude, your boy Chris tore it up talking about a chess game.
Man.
The pause, and I'm setting the rules. Dude, Chris brought the fire.
Dude, listen, I'm telling you.
I did pretty good, too. I did pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, you have a good night, man. Ooh, listen, I'm telling you, bringing the fire. They brought everything he talked about. And that's another factor as well, that sometimes gets lost, I think, for people too, is how, with SALEH being here, with our front office, being solidified with Joe Douglas, us turning things around with our franchise, getting rid of a lot of the nonsense that we dealt with in the past, this is a destination where some free agents are talking about coming now. People are excited. People look at this situation and they go, hey, we could come there with SALEH and Mike LaFleur and Joe Douglas. They got it. The Jets have got it together now. They're using their brains now. The impact of that hiring, the impact of us bringing him in this building is huge. Players are looking at us like a destination now. We're going to see how it happens in free agency. If the Jets tax is gone or how we're going to handle things, it's going to be huge, man. So I'm going to keep going to these lines, man. I got quite a bit of calls. We're going to get to everybody tonight. Again, when you call in, please be patient. Please be patient. We're going to get to everybody. We're talking Jets. We're talking running backs. We're talking tight ends. We're talking Zach Wilson. I want to hear from y'all. I definitely want to hear from you. So I'm going to a new caller, 518, new caller 518. I'm coming directly to you. Give me your name, where you're from, and what are your thoughts about the Jets running back position?
Hey, LBJ, it's Jimmy from South Carolina now, originally from Brooklyn.
Oh, Jimmy, what's going on, my man? Good to speak to you tonight.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? How are you feeling about this Jets running back situation?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. The running back situation, I love Ty Johnson. I liked him last year when he was on Detroit, but they never used him. Mm-hmm. He comes to the Jets. Gase didn't use anybody. Never mind. But anyway, he ruined Darnold. I mean, he was supposed to be the quarterback coach. Mm-hmm. What the hell did he do? Nothing. Oof. He screwed him up. The year before, we had what was his name? Jeremy Bates.
Yeah.
Then they moved him to offensive coordinator, but he was still the quarterback's coach. And Darnold was okay then. It was his first year. He was 20 years old. Mm-hmm. Come on. So, but then the second year, we know what happened after that. But if he had the proper coaching the past 2 years, he wouldn't be such a schmuck right now. Okay, mm-hmm. be looking this bad. I mean, I really love Darnold. I really like him. Mm-hmm. But as far as anything goes, Joe Douglas, I have all my faith in him. LaFleur knows what he's doing. I think they're going to make the right decision on the quarterback. So whether he could be salvaged, that'd be great. If not, I wish him all the luck in the world. Go Ryan Tannehill. As far as the front line, we got to get him in there. We got to protect them. Look at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Who wants that to happen?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I think we need Creed Humphrey. We get a center in there, move McGovern back to his normal position of guard, and I think we tighten that up right then and there. I still think we need Fant's good, but I still think we need a right tackle, and we could do that in the draft.
Okay, so
as far as the running back,
hold on a second. You're looking to address a lot of the holes along the offensive line in the draft. You're not interested in taking any guys that are in free agency. Joe Thuney is out there. I know you talked about moving Connor McGovern. Lindsey's a guy that you could put in there at center. Are any of those guys attractive to you in your mind to bring in and have them play here?
They certainly are.
Okay.
But I think Joe Douglas, with his, wisdom, he doesn't want to spend money.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for the long haul, I mean, what's his face? Lindsey, he's 29, 30? All right, how many more years you got out of him?
Yeah.
Okay. You bring in somebody else. He's good for the short term, like a McCagnon deal, give him a lot of money, come in for a little while, train the backup, and the backup you got next year or whatever. So, I do believe we do need some strength up front, especially, protect the line. I don't want to see Mahomes again, in New York.
Yeah. So
that's what we've been doing. The quarterback's been chasing, running around all over the place.
Yeah, that's a fact. So when you look at this, situation, when you look at this situation, though, because I want to talk to you about this running back situation as well, because the offensive line, we definitely got to shore up, and there's a couple ways that we can go about it. But when you look at this running back situation, there's a lot of people, especially when they started hearing about the Jets talking to Najee Harris, they're saying we should take Najee at 23. Do you agree with that take?
No, I like Wyatt Davis there. If we don't get Wyatt Davis, but like I said, I think we need to protect the quarterback. We got to protect him. You need a wall. Mm-hmm. You got to give him time to establish everything. You need time for the go routes to get out there and everything else. So you got to protect them. no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't get sacked, 30 times a year, or even worse, like Wilson out in Seattle. I mean, God. But, yeah, I think at running back, I really like Jamal Williams from Green Bay.
Okay.
I think, he's a backup. He's not going to cost as much as Aaron is going to cost.
Yeah, Aaron
But
Jones.
I like him. I really like him as a running back. I have him every year on my fantasy league.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Chris Carson? Because there's some Jets
close to
fans.
later in.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Chris Carson? Because there's some Jets fans that think that he's a guy that we should go after. Would you like to see him brought in?
No. He's a little too old. Yeah. He's going to cost you money, and no, I don't think so. Okay. I'd rather go Michael Carter in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, whatever, from what's he, Miami, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he really looked good in the Senior Bowl. So, I mean, he did decent during the year also. But and I like Freiermuth as a tight end.
Yeah. So going to
he's not Pitts.
Yeah.
But he's second best.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to need a Kittle in our team. So, I mean, if he can block, he can catch, he could do everything. Acrobatics, great. Let's go. That's what we're going to need. And
yeah. So when you look at this when you look at this tight end position, I know you're bringing up a couple of guys from the draft as well. There's going to be out there guys that we could attack. I could see us going after some of those guys. But I want to get your thoughts on some of the free agents that could be out there as well, because there's guys that we could target. Jonnu Smith is a guy that I think is, there's going to be out there as well. He's a guy that looks solid. He's looked solid there with the Titans. I know they're a very big, kind of running team. They run the ball very hard down there with Derrick Henry, but we saw some flashes out of him.
Right.
And Gerald Everett is a guy that I like as well. He's a guy that can make plays. We saw him utilized within that Rams offense. We saw him catch some balls and really be able to make some moves and make plays. What tight end could you see coming in here and really making an impact that would make sense for us?
Kelsey. No, but
no.
Yeah, I know. We all
Go ahead, man. Travis, go ahead.
Yeah, I like Mo Alley Cox. You
Okay.
brought him up before, and I like him. He did some good things. He's not going to cost a lot. Jonnu was out a couple of weeks this year. We need healthy guys. Guys that are going to be on the field. Even if they don't cost us anything, you still need to be out there. We need a team.
Yeah.
We can't have our wide receiver core, together for 3 games.
Yeah.
At wide receiver, there's another one. I really like Curtis Samuel. He's got that X factor that we're going to need in the Shanahan offense. Running the jet sweeps and everything else, and all over the place. This guy, he's amazing. He can do that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Allen Robinson?
He ran. What was he? 200 yards rushing this year?
Oh, dude!
Come on,
dude. Allen Robinson. I mean,
800
Curtis Samuel
receiving. I think he had.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel is one of the guys that I look at as well. I've talked about him. I've also talked about the possibility of trading for Odell Beckham Jr. I've talked about that as well. I don't think we'll have to give up as much as most people think. But my final question for you before I let you go, dude, because you had one heck of a call, Jimmy, and I want to thank you for calling in. You talked a little bit about the wide receiver position and going after Curtis Samuel. What are your thoughts about Allen Robinson? I mean, that's a guy that's going to cost, but he can come in here and make a big-time impact. How do you feel about him?
I would love to get both him and Samuel on the team, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Get rid of Perriman and what do you call it? And we got a wide receiving core. I'm talking about keeping Jamison Crowder also.
Okay.
I like him. I really love. He was our best receiver last year.
He could save you $10 million if he's gone, though. He could save you $10 million.
Why let him go?
Okay. Go ahead. All right. I respect that.
I think he's worth it.
Okay.
Because you got to spend some money somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't have all rookies and have $100 million in surplus and have a shitty team. Excuse my French. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, please watch your language. But yeah, listen, Jimmy, I got to get back to these lines, my man. No, it's okay. Just watch it. We're a family show here. But listen, I want to thank you for calling in, Jimmy. You have a good night. All right.
I thank you, LBJ. You take care.
Absolutely.
Right,
thank you so much. Go Jets. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, Jimmy called in with the fire. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639. Please call in. We're taking calls. We're talking. Got a little bit of callers. We're going to get to everybody here. Also, if you're watching me, no matter where you're watching me from, please give me a thumbs up. Please thumbs up my stream, everybody. You know, whether you're watching me on wherever, multiple platforms that I stream on, please give me a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? It's greatly appreciated. So we're going to keep getting to these callers, getting back to these lines. Jason, I am coming to you. This is my guy, 661 Jason. Listen, Jason, you know I love talking to you about these Jets, man. Look, we getting it started. We got, Mike LaFleur here with this offense that SF's bringing in. How important is it for us to get a quality tight end that can be able to make plays, man?
Well, man, to be honest, I keep it with you, man. I don't know what was worse, Adam's play calling or the tight end playing on the field.
Yeah,
because both were horrible.
Yeah.
To be honest, in my opinion, we might need to tail this tight end room down and just need to build it up again, because all we have right now is just old people who like in their 30s, Herndon that can't catch anything, or he wants to fumble everything, and Westco, which I don't know what he has become. So we just need a whole tail down. Everything needs to be replaced in the tight end room. It's so bad.
Okay. So when you look at this situation, are you a guy that wants to get after some of these tight ends in free agency? Jonnu Smith, of course, Hunter Henry is going to be out there. There's so many names of guys that are going to be out there. Who is the guy that you covet? I mean, is Gerald Everett a guy that you covet? Is Mo Alley Cox a guy that you covet? Who exactly do you want to see the Jets chase in free agency?
I believe, well, to be honest, we need somebody who can actually catch. So, to be honest, Chargers tight end the tight end is somebody I'll be looking at. I forgot his name.
Jonnu Smith.
I would like to have at least, Jonnu Smith.
Okay. So how much are you willing to spend on Jonnu? Because he's going to be one of the top tight ends in the league, or one of the top tight ends in the league in free agency when that comes. So how much are you willing to spend? What's the most until it's your cutoff and you're like, I'm going to have to walk away?
Well, to be honest, right now, tight end is not. It's not. I don't believe it's going to be able to fix this year. I would put an offer out there, but I won't be like one of the top teams. So probably. I didn't do research of how much a tight end would cost, so probably about dang. Do you know what's the range for a tight end to get?
I mean, there's a lot of guys making a lot of money. I mean, the top tight end, Travis Kelce is making something like $14 million a year. I know Kittle is making, I think, like $14 or $15 million a year. There's some guys that's definitely making some money. But I mean, in free agency, of course, you're gonna have to pay. I don't know if I'd be willing to pay that much for a tight end in free agency. That's why I think going after some of maybe the second tier guys, or even some of the guys that aren't top. That's why I think Hunter Henry, I'd like him. He's a great tight end, but I think it's tough, trying to bring him in, especially some of the holes that we have. I think Mo Alley Cox would be a guy that we could sign. I don't think he's gonna, ask for, $15 million a year. I think that, Gerald Everett is gonna be in that class. So there's a couple guys, but Jonnu, you're definitely gonna have to spend a little bit. But there's definitely, some room there to move. So look, I heard what you said about those tight ends and redoing that room. So clearly you want to get rid of Ryan Griffin, which would save us, $1.8 million. So there's some things that we could do there. But going back to this running back situation, there's some moving and shaking that could happen there as well. A lot of people looking at situations. There's a lot of fans that want to go after Najee Harris. Some people want to go after some running backs in free agency. What are your thoughts about our running back, position as of right now? How do you assess it?
Well, to be honest, assessing, you can't assess the running back without the O-line, because both of them need each other to succeed. And so from our last talk, I remember I was talking about fixing this O-line.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a great O-line, doesn't matter who you have in the backfield. If those guys are making holes, anyone can go through them.
Yeah.
So to be honest, the guys we have, I believe we can keep as long as we build this O-line.
Yeah.
And possibly go for the Seahawks Carson, because some people that don't want to talk about is that his offensive line sucked, and he still had those yards.
Yeah.
So imagine just talking to Carson, saying, "Hey, man, we're building this offensive line, and we're gonna make it great so that since you've been with the Seahawks and haven't had a great offensive line, you have a great O-line, and you can come here and you can run it all over the field."
Yeah. I mean, that's something we could do. Again, and I know everyone's talking about it tonight. Better in this O-line would definitely help the rest of this offense, but there's some targets that could be out there. You talked about Chris Carson. I know that there's some other fans that want him as well, but I think, the price is going to be a big factor with him. But listen, Jason, I got to get back to the rest of these lines, my friend. Thank you for calling in tonight. It was great to speak to you. Next time I have a show, man, I want to hear from you, all right?
All right, man. Take care.
Have a good one. Listen, Jay calling in with the fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number to the show you can call in. Look, I'm going to keep going through this. When you call into the show, okay, you don't have to call in and hang up and call in and hang up and call in and hang up, okay? Please don't do that, because what that's going to do is put you at the back of the line, okay? I have a queue. I can see you when you call in. We're going to get to everybody. So if you call in, just call in and wait on the line. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear the show. Just call in, wait on the line. And then as, people get off the show, you will be brought on. But don't call in and hang up and call in and hang up. Because if you do that, you're just putting yourself at the bottom of the back of the line. It's just like if you were waiting in line for some groceries to buy your groceries. If you get out of that grocery line and you keep getting in and getting out, guess what happens? You'll be there till 7 o'clock at night trying to buy some groceries. You've been there since 8 in the morning. You keep getting in and out the line. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do that. So we're going to keep getting to these lines, man. We're going to keep going to these lines. We're going to 818-818. I'm coming directly to you. This is my guy, Jacob, I believe. Jacob, my man, how's everything going? I want to thank you for calling into the show tonight. I want to get your thoughts on this Jets tight end position, man. I'm all right, man. Thank you again for calling in. I have no faith in Chris Herndon. I'm keeping it completely real. I just don't. I don't have any faith in him. What say you, my friend? How do you feel about him going into this season, with our offensive coordinator? Do you have faith that he'll turn into the tight end that everybody, that some Jets fans believe that he will?
Yeah, I think we're all hoping he can return to his rookie form, which was a promising tight end. Obviously, last year he didn't really play that much, and then this year he had a pretty awful season, I think. But I think he'll definitely come back to some form of himself. I don't think he'll be 100% like he was in year one. I just think with all the injuries he's had, it's tough to make a full 100% recovery from that, especially in the NFL. But I think he can return to some sort of form. I think he showed definitely some promise throughout the year. But I would say I'm not sure if any other questions would be addressing the tight end position that you may have for me.
Yeah.
So if they are, I'll –
Yeah. When you look at this situation, because you talked about Herndon, and I know you said you're not, you're hoping that he is, but you're not as confident as others are. When you look at this situation, what about free agency? Are there any guys you think the Jets should target to bring in free agency? Because I'm big again on Gerald Everett. Some people even talked about Jared Cook. I mean, is there a guy out there that you'd like to see the Jets be able to bring in?
The guy that I lean towards is more of in the draft than Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
I think if we decide to stick with Sam Darnold and are able to trade back from 2 to a spot like maybe pick 8 if the Panthers want to come up and, get Zach Wilson or Justin Fields and we can slide back to pick 8, I think Kyle Pitts, I've, loved this dude for a while now. I think could easily be a top 10 tight end, right off the bat in his rookie season. And I think when you have somebody like him who's that big of a mismatch, they don't come out of college that often that are that good. I've heard a lot of the comps are like Darren Waller, and obviously Darren Waller's the top 3 tight end in the NFL, I think, at least. So if someone like that comes out of the draft, they're very hard to find. I think having a good tight end is something that's pretty underappreciated and underrated in the NFL and that not a lot of teams have. So I think if we can get someone like that in here who, if you put a linebacker on him, he's going to outrun them. But if you put a safety on them, he's going to, he has much better size than they do. I think it'll create a lot of mismatches, and I think it'll lead us to a lot of success.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Going over to the running back side of the ball, man, you look at the situation, and I'm on the West Coast, so I watch, San Francisco quite a bit. I'm forced to be completely honest. I'm forced to, and it's a miserable experience, dude. It is completely miserable, let me tell you. To watch that football team, because they've been solid for a couple years, so it sucks, especially when you're a Jets fan and you're like, when is my team going to be like this? But I've had the opportunity to watch them, and when I watched that Shanahan system there, I saw them be extremely effective with guys that weren't necessarily touted as, the best running backs in the league. Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, Jerick McKinnon. These are guys that, aren't necessarily like, hey, these are Alvin Kamara's or Cooks or anything like that, or Derrick Henry's or anything like that. So when I look at this situation, you have Mike LaFleur coming here, and I say to myself, man, he's going to come in here. He's going to run that Shanahan system. He's a guy that, worked under Shanahan. The running scheme was there. I expect to see a lot of things from San Francisco transfer over to here. And when I look at our running back situation, I say, I don't think we necessarily need an elite back either. I don't think we necessarily need, one of those guys that we could possibly get by with P. Ryan, Ty Johnson, and if we, bring Josh Adams back, or even if we go into the draft and get a young guy, that's explosive, I think we can survive with that. What are your thoughts about that, man? Do you think we have to go get, Aaron Jones or any of those other, high-priced free agent running backs, or do you think that we're okay with P. Ryan and Ty Johnson with this system?
Yeah, I sort of have a more in-depth and long response to this, I guess, because this is something I guess I think about a lot for sure when it comes to our team. And I really don't think we need to bring in one of the top free agent running backs. Obviously, we know what happened when we did that with Le'Veon Bell. It was just pretty much a complete disaster. So I don't think we'll make that same mistake again. I think we can get by with the guys we have, or if we want to bring in maybe a Jamal Williams or like a Mike Davis, or even draft a guy like Kenneth Gainwell, who I know has been connected to the Jets a little bit. I think they could work out pretty well too. And I think it definitely goes back to just saying how the offensive line really determines how good the running back is. Because when you go back to the Niners again, they had like, I don't know, four different running backs who looked like they could be Pro Bowl running backs over like last year. Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, a dude named Jermichael Hasty. I don't think a single dude owns his jersey, and he looked like a Pro Bowl running back.
Yeah, and like you talked about that offensive line in San Francisco. I mean, you had Trent Williams up there. I remember I was screaming for that guy. I was screaming for us to trade for him. Yeah, and a lot of people, a lot of people didn't, didn't want to have anything to do with it. But he was literally rated the top tackle in the league. I mean, that guy is, ridiculous. And I think he, possibly is, going to be one of the higher paid free agents this year. But let me tell you something, like you said as well, the offensive line and how we address it is going to be extremely big to the production, from our running backs. But I definitely think, again, with this scheme and this offense, the guys that we have, I think, can be extremely successful in it. So my final question before I let you go, my man. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to say also, I think that's why, related to this, if I'm sitting at pick number 2 still and nobody wants to come and trade up, I'm still taking Penei Sewell because it all comes back to if we want to run the ball and we have that type of scheme where running the ball is, that's what you do like a lot of the time, and you need those bookend tackles to really lead the way no matter which way you're running. If you have Mekhi Becton on the left who's going to knock over whatever defensive end or edge rusher you put on him, and then you put Sewell there who's arguably the best tackle in a decade or so, it'll make it much easier for our system to succeed.
Okay, so when you look at this situation now, this is my question for you as well, because I've heard a lot of people talk about taking Penei Sewell at number 2, and I respect that. But when I look at this situation, and there's some other Jets fans that kind of look at it the same way, or look at it in a different way, they say to themselves, okay, well, yeah, Penei is rated as coming out, as one of the best left tackles to possibly ever come. Moving him to right tackle, could that be a concern with him in his play? Do you think the same exact way, or what are you doing on the offensive line? Are you moving Mekhi to right tackle, or are you putting Penei at that right tackle immediately?
I think probably moving Penei to right tackle because Mekhi Becton's already shown how good he can be at left tackle. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think obviously there's a pretty high chance that Penei Sewell is going to be successful in the NFL but obviously nothing's a guarantee until you actually watch them play.
Yeah.
So now that we know Mekhi Becton can successfully play left tackle at an extremely high level, I don't think you want to mess around with it and change where he's playing and make him readjust his play style and everything. I think you just let it be and then try to let supposedly the best tackle in a decade try to fix it. Because if they're a generational prospect like he's made out to be, I think they'll be able to adjust and play just fine.
Yeah, yeah. So my final question for you is, we talked about the offensive line, the processes of the running game, which I think is going to be extremely huge this year for us. I think the running game is going to be a big part of our offense, more so than it's been these last couple years. Because I truly, again, watching SF and the way that they do things there in San Francisco, man, they were running the rock hard.
Mm-hmm.
But that opened up the door for other things.
Yeah.
One of those things is play action. I want to get your thoughts on this, man. Do you think that play action will be a bigger part of this offense this upcoming season with this system?
Definitely. And I think in schemes where you run the ball more, I think play action is also more effective because if you're running the ball 2/3 of the time in a run-pass type of offense, and it's, third and short, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, even 3rd and 3, whatever it may be, if everyone's probably going to assume you're just running it again because that's what you do a majority of the time. But if you pull out the play action there, I think it can lead to a lot of big plays. And I think that's something that we should have done a lot more in the past year because we saw the few times that we actually ran play action in 2020. There were some big plays down the field that ended up occurring. I think the long Brashad Perriman touchdown against the Patriots was a play action. Some of the great Denzel Mims catches were play action.
Yep.
I think it's something that we saw a lot from the 49ers, and I think we would definitely end up doing a lot too, and it's successful. It works.
Yeah. Listen, Jacob, you had quite a call, man. I mean, you call in with the fire normally, man, but this was a great call from you. Give him a hand, man. Give this guy a hand. You know what I'm saying? Jacob called in with it tonight. He called in with it tonight. I'm not gonna lie about it. You called in tonight. You brought the fire, and it was just all education. You just schooled everybody, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. But listen,
I
man,
appreciate you, Joe.
yeah, absolutely, man. But I'm gonna let you go now, man. I want you to have a good night, my friend. It was great speaking to you. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right?
Absolutely. Have a good night.
All right, you have a good night. Listen, Jacob called in, man. Jacob called in with straight fire tonight, man. It was crazy. Look, man, we had quite a bit of callers tonight. People called in with the fire, bringing their takes. There was arguments left and right, things going on. A lot of stuff, man. Listen. But now we're going to end the show, folks. Again, I want to thank everyone for calling in. Please thumbs up the stream. Please subscribe. Please turn on your notifications as well if you have not already. You know what I'm saying? If you watching me through YouTube. So listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on YouTube as well, all right? At YoungJ00. Oh, excuse me. That's my Twitter. I'm on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. That's 3 zeros. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Darnold jersey on, all right, at all times. I'm not the biggest, Sam Darnold defender. I do try to bring facts, but we'll see what happens, as we continue on throughout this, off season. Maybe the Jets take a quarterback. Maybe they don't. Maybe they trade for one. Who knows what can happen, but we'll see what happens with Sam Darnold. I'm also on YouTube as well at Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets is the YouTube, all right? Long Beach Joe Jets. Please go there. Subscribe to my content. Give my videos a thumbs up. Give my stream a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Turn on your notifications as well. And if you want to troll me, no issues. I'm the troll. I'll go back and forth with you in the comments as well. I love going back and forth with people. So always, people, when you see me in person, because you will see me in person eventually, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone, all right? They will cost you absolutely nothing. Anyone that tells you that you have to pay for a hug, not true. Not true. The hugs will remain free. So I want to thank you folks for listening. You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. I'm back now. So I'm back. Hopefully everybody can hear me, right? Let me see. Let me check my chat. Make sure everybody can hear me. Everybody can hear me? Can you hear me? Is everything good? Let me know. Say we can hear you. We can't hear you. I have a new audio system, so you know what I'm saying? I hope you know, everybody can hear me and everything was crisp. If it's not crisp, if anything happened, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Ramon Jose Jr., salute to you as well, man. He says the audio is a little low. All right, let me know. James DePietro, salute to you. He says all gas, no brakes. Salute to you as well, my friend. It's good to hear. Good to see you in here. Listen, okay, James says I can hear you. All right, good. I hope everybody can hear me. Yeah, again, you know, I have a new audio system, so I've been working on it for quite a while. So, you know, hope everything's good and the audio is good. Everyone was saying it was crisp, so everything stays crisp. Jerry Johnson says we hear you. We definitely heard Herndon's cousin. All right, that's good. You know, I was hoping everything's crisp, everything's smooth. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure everything's smooth for y'all. I'm working on a lot of stuff, so, and everything's, you know, rolling out. But I wanted to make sure that this audio system worked. Everything was good. Everything was smooth. Everybody could hear everything. Well, listen, folks, I'm gonna have to get out of here. But listen, I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. Everybody for viewing the show. I truly appreciate it. Again, please thumbs up the stream. And salute to everybody to join. Jerry Johnson, James, Jack, PJ, salute to you, PJ. Good to see you in here, my man. Leon, good to see you in here. Direct Effect, good to see you in here. Robbie, good to see you in here, man. Salute to everybody that just joined us tonight. Shogun, salute to you, man. Jack White, salute to you. Everybody that came in, man, and just, you know, enjoyed and talked that talk and was talking Jets tonight. Again, I want to thank everybody, man, that joined. Oh, and as well, if you hit exclamation point links, it's your first time in the chat. Exclamation point links in the chat will bring up my link tree. That link tree there is the link to every single thing, all of my content, all of my, you know, YouTubes, all of everything. So please go there. You know, all of my social media is in there as well. So please go there. And, you know, check that out, please. I really, really appreciate you guys going there and, you know, follow me across my social media platforms. Also follow me across my YouTube platforms as well. It's just greatly appreciated. So I'm going to get on up out of here because I got quite a schedule. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, I want to thank everybody, man. It was absolutely, you know what I'm saying? It was a great show tonight. Love talking to everyone. So you folks have a good one. Peace.